Thanks, fellas. I am so excited NBC has NASCAR coverage from here on out because it means more NASCAR talk for us. I know you like that.
Happy Daytona 500 race day party, people. The time has come and the time is now. I'm all jacked up because the Great American Race is here.
Speaking of family, we were talking off camera. Your brother Ryan running part-time deal this year with Junior Motorsports in the Xfinity Series, but you get pretty nervous watching him, don't you?
Oh man, how'd you know that?
I know my stuff. Come on.
You've been studying.
Yeah.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
This is what everybody's talking about today. Tire rubber, and as it falls all over me, tire rubber. Now, I know you've seen the track. You were just looking at it. Is it everything that you've imagined and more? Because this thing is actually happening today.
It's amazing that they're going to have 23 cars out there swapping paint for sure.
Were you surprised that he let you down to the inside line on that restart? Because you guys have been working well together up until that point, but with 2 laps to go in the Great American Race, I feel like everything goes out the window.
Trevor Bayne, who has a new role for Legacy Motor Club this year. So 2 young drivers in John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones. Takes a lot to get around this racetrack efficiently. What do you tell them to get their mind right for 500 laps here?
Well, that's a good question.
Welcome back to DC Sports Live. Davey Segal here, your NASCAR expert, aficionado, what have you. Listen, another weekend, another nail-biting finish.
You said you feel like you have a really good car today. What gives you the confidence that you can move up to the front? We're going to try a grid walk. Nicky Bobby, come here real quick. Let's get Nick Sanchez's thoughts, the Miami, Florida native here in Daytona. Not necessarily a home game, but you're close to home. How you feeling today, real quick? I believe you were kind of like a coach of sorts for some drivers here and there. I read Casey Kane, the late J.D. Gibbs, Ricky Hendrick as well. I mean,
where do you find all this crap out? I never tried.
I try to do my research, Timmy.
Yeah,
I'm doing my
good,
best.
Man. You're doing a hell of a job.
You're used to being a head coach in football, and John is kind of the head honcho at New York Racing Team. Do you see any other parallels between the game of football and racing? You and Ty, you ran into some issues yesterday in practice and qualifying. Can you speak to what those issues were and if you guys were able to rectify them for the race today? There's a lot of confetti back here, and this man is very excited about it. You were actually just soaking in the moment and taking a picture of your car. What is this moment like for you? Has it sunk in that you're a Daytona 500 champ, Austin Cindric?
No pain, no gain for this guy right here. For the first time in almost 2,000 days, 1,966 to be exact. Yes, I did the math. I just Googled it. William Byron is a Truck Series winner.
The track conditions yesterday were very treacherous, very sketchy. Obviously, NASCAR reapplied the resin today. Do you have any idea what that's going to do for the first stage of this race? When you think of Martinsville, the Wood brothers come to mind, as does Hall of Famer Leonard Wood. What are the emotions for you, sir, when you come into this place, knowing the history that you guys have here? When you guys were getting together at first in 2014, I know you were a little bit apprehensive of actually taking on this task. Have you been surprised at how well it's worked and how quickly it worked for you guys? Now, we know your driver knows what it takes to get it done here. Does that put any more pressure on you as the crew chief to give him the car to do it?
Heading to Talladega, anything can happen. Even if he gets involved in a crash, if it collects everybody else that's behind him and ahead of him, he could be staying put where he is heading to the cutoff for the round of 12 at the Charlotte Roval. So if I'm Hendrick Motorsports, I'm not hitting the panic button yet. I may be starting to hover my hand over it, but I'm not going to freak out too soon.
Let's chat about this past weekend in Sonoma, wine country. It was all about this guy, MTJ. Martin Truex Jr. won for the 2nd year in a row, 3rd time overall in California, and the 4th time this season. Think he can count? I think so.